Hey everybody, let me move this camera real quick, just a little bit. Center me up, okay. I got a message from somebody who asked me if I'd go a little more in depth on something I mentioned in the Q&A video. I guess they're writing a book and they want some stories and things to, add to their repertoire there. They asked how a group of 8 guerrilla warfare knuckleheads can take down a division of an infantry division. So I'll go ahead and tell this story. I'm not going to make a bunch of videos telling, Uncle Voodoo's army stories. That'd be like another channel. But I do have some funny ass stories. This one, we kind of got a reputation for being pretty good at causing trouble as far as Op 4 went. We used to go to NTC and help the Op 4 out there and just wreak havoc on people. Even the light fighter school at Fort Drum, where they do PLDC and pre-ranger, stuff like that, they would call us up and ask if we could come out and put people through the ringer, because we got really good at it, just letting us wing it, we got really good. And so this one particular incident, there was an exercise going on. We had a base commander at one time that was pretty gung-ho, and he wanted to do a big exercise every year, about 3 weeks to a month long, where the entire division would go to the field at the same time for this field exercise. And the only people left on base were like MPs and like essential personnel to run offices and things like that and deal with like spouses and stuff. But if you were, an able-bodied, soldier, you were in the field. Even profile people went to the field. He didn't give a shit. You went out there and you just pulled radio watch. He wanted everybody in the field that was able to go. So our company got tasked for, I think there was 2 platoons of Op 4. So we had 2 platoons of people. And the commander went with us. He wanted to go play bad guy with us. Because he always heard of some of the funny, and this was probably the coolest company commander I ever had. Most of them were stuffy, freaking, just got out, almost like wet out of school. They're going to change the world, and I hated new lieutenants. And they wanted to just change the world and everything. But this guy was, I think he was enlisted up to E6 before he, became an officer, and so he kind of knew the ropes. And so he was really cool as far as working with his NCOs and things like that. So he's probably one of the best officers I worked with the entire time I was in the Army. So anyway, he wanted to go with us and have some fun. And so I was a fire team leader at the time. I was a corporal, but my squad leader was on profile for something. And they made him go to the field. All he had to do was pull radio watch and stuff like that. So I ended up taking over the squad while he was gone. I was acting squad leader. And the commander tasked different squads for different jobs. One squad would be tasked to go out and mess with commo, radio communications. We used to have the old sound-powered telephones, with the wire and all that. So their mission was to just, steal antennas, cut commo wires. That was their job. And when we left to go to the field, we got 2 MREs and 4 quarts of water apiece. And they said, if you want to have any more food or any more water for the rest of this 3-week to a month field exercise, you better steal it. Or, you better come up with it, because that's all we're giving you. And so we're looking at, being out in the field for up to a month, and we've got 2 meals, and 4 quarts of water, which, trains. Sorry about the train. We got 4 quarts of water that's going to last about a day. So we got to, really be on the ball, to get our food and water and stuff. So we were, told to steal everything that we could get our hands on. We couldn't take, people's weapons, like M16, stuff like that, because they're signed for it. But we could dump their rucksacks out. Frickin' train, sorry. We could dump their rucksacks out and take, all their military-issued food. We couldn't take, their pokey bait. If they had, a candy bar, something that they bought to take with them, or a bag of chips or something, we couldn't take that stuff. But we could take their military-issued food, and we could take all their water. And so that's how we were going to survive. And so my squad ended up getting the task of stealing vehicles. He's like, go out and steal every vehicle you can get your hands on. Humvees, 5 tons, deuce and a half, I don't care. He said, if it runs, take it. Cool, that was my mission. So me and my guys were on a mission to steal vehicles. We did have to keep the driver. We were using Miles laser tag stuff, and, we had to kill the driver, but he had to go with us, because he signed for the vehicle. Couldn't just take his vehicle. So, it wasn't like we could just sneak in and, jump in one and take it. We had to, have a firefight and win and take the damn thing. So the very first one we took was at it was like an air defense site, Vulcan cannon unit. And so we ended up wiping them guys out, and we were going to take this Humvee that they had, and we had to, we're asking, who's the driver, who signed for the vehicle? We got to take them with us, even though they're dead. They're going to go live with us. And we had to keep them for 3 days and then turn them loose. So he was going to be out of the game for 72 hours. And so they say it's private so and so.